Change your diet, change your life, change the planet.
Hi everybody. I've got another tool I wanted to share with you today. One that's been working really powerfully for me in the past few weeks. As many of you know, I have some dental issues that have been challenging me of late, and this requires that I spend a great deal of time in the bathroom every day cleaning my teeth so they don't get worse. And for some reason, dental hygiene is something that I've never had the patience for. I do it, but I do so begrudgingly. Like when I'm about to go to bed, it's like I have to floss. Seriously, I don't know why. It's like I'm in a rush to do something better, and this is just this menial task that gets in the way of me really enjoying life. So what I've been doing lately to make my oral hygiene not only consistent but enjoyable is to slow down the process to the point of ridiculousness. Seriously slow it down. When I went into the dentist on the last visit, they had me bring my toothbrush in, and the bristles are all like matted flat. And the hygienist is like, "Are you a hard brusher?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I brush really hard because I want to make sure I clean my teeth." She said, "No." She said, "You're actually doing the opposite. By brushing so hard, the bristles don't get a chance to actually get between the teeth because you're bending them and they're going up around the teeth and not between." She said, "What you want to do is brush really gently so that the bristles have a chance to actually go between the teeth and get around all the curves." And this made total sense to me, but I never knew that before. Nobody ever told me. So by slowing things down, not only have I made my oral hygiene more effective, but I've also made it more enjoyable. So what does that look like to slow things down to the point of ridiculousness? Well, it starts with the cap on the toothpaste. I grab it and I press my fingers into it, and I feel the grooves. I feel the sharpness of the ridges and the valleys in between. And I just let my fingers experience that feeling. And then I slowly twist the cap, and I feel those sharp ridges rolling between my fingers, and I let that sensation sink in. And I might take 10 to 30 seconds just taking the cap off the toothpaste, really deeply feeling it. And it's taking so long that it's no longer just a task of getting the cap off the toothpaste so I can brush my teeth. Now the task is experience this moment. This is something you've done thousands of times in your life that you've never paid attention to, you've never noticed, and you've never gotten anything positive out of this time. By slowing down the task to the point where you can focus on nothing else, you become totally present, and it puts you in this trance-like state where nothing else in the world matters. All that shows up is your experience of this cap. And then what does it sound like? Because toothpaste is kind of grainy. It's a little bit abrasive. And those grains get on the outside of the ridges of the screw cap. So as you're twisting it, you can feel the grains underneath. And you can hear them as they grind on the plastic. So you're feeling the cap, you're listening to that grind, you're feeling it reverberate through your fingers. And then the cap is off, and what does that feel like? It's now just floating in your hand, but you can still feel the grooves. And then you put it down on the porcelain sink, and it makes a noise. What noise does it make? As one part hits first, and then another part, and eventually it goes flat. And then you pick up your toothbrush, and you feel the handle slowly, deliberately. Where do you place your hand on the brush? How hard do you squeeze? And then as I'm brushing the teeth, I'm doing it so slowly and deliberately and getting the bristles between each space in my teeth. It takes like 3 to 4 minutes for me to brush my teeth now. Maybe even longer than that. And I'm relaxed, and I'm calm, and I'm focused, and I'm no longer thinking about where I want to rush off to. And this has had a huge impact on me. Completely changes my state. It's a whole process that you can go through to get yourself ready to do a task that you would normally just ignore. A task that normally seems like it's just wasting your time and getting in the way of real life, now suddenly becomes a source of curiosity, of enjoyment, and of relaxation. And I've done it in other areas as well. I've noticed that writing things by hand is something that I always rush through, and my handwriting is really sloppy because I'm annoyed for some reason. Like, writing by hand annoys me. When somebody orders a t-shirt and I've got to fill out the envelope by hand, it's like, it really upsets me. But now I take my time, I feel the pen in my hand, I place it on the envelope, and I slowly and calmly feel those letters out. It's almost like liquid pouring out of my hand, pouring out of my pen. And I pay real special attention to every letter that I create. I make it a deliberate act. I'm communicating on this envelope. And what is it that I want to communicate? Do I want to communicate that I'm in a rush? Do I want to communicate that this annoys me, that I'm sending off this package to you, but it annoys me? Or do I want to communicate presence and relaxation and care to detail? So now when I write, I do it really slowly, and it might take me 5 minutes to put your address and mine on the envelope before I send out a shirt. And it completely changes the experience. So if you find yourself rushing through life, and if you find yourself in a state of overwhelm or anxiety, and there's just not enough time to get things done, instead of speeding up to try to create more time, do the opposite. Slow down. Take more time. Because the more time you take, the more present you become. And the more present you become, the more effective you are. And the more effective you are, the less time you'll need to do things. Because you won't do them wrong the first time. You're much more likely to do a good job and not have to repeat it later. And you'll just be in a much better state, enjoying this amazing equipment that we've been given that allows us to sense this incredible world around us. Okay? So try that. Slow down. Take it all in. And see what shows up. I love you. Bye.